Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So at the moment I am taking part in a challenge in one of the Facebook groups that I'm a part of called the Uncommon Guild, which is an awesome place to be. I literally love going in there and looking at all the cool sort of creepy, gothic, edgy, awesome stuff that everyone makes, and it's completely up my street, so I really enjoy that group. So please feel free to check that group out. It's definitely full of incredibly talented people, so yeah, definitely worth a look. So I've not done any crafting for literally ages because I've been trying to focus on sort of like learning to draw and things like that. So I have mostly just been doing digital stuff. So this is the first time I've done anything for probably probably about a year, maybe more. So hopefully you enjoy this, and this is a flip through of an altered file folder, which is what the challenge is. So let's get into it. So I've bound this with some sort of grungy looking fabrics just because it's quite chunky, and I just wanted to make sure it all stayed in, and it also keeps these lovely charms in place as well. So the point of this, I think, is more to like, it's like an ephemera file folder, so it just kind of keeps everything, all your ephemera in place, I guess. So we had like a bit of a list of things to include, so I'm just going to kind of check that off as I do this flip through. Probably should have done that beforehand, but so I mean, altered file folder, check. Okay, so one of the things was books or library images. I didn't really have any sort of book or library images, so what I did instead was I attached mini books. So if you can see, there is like proper writing as if it's like a proper little book in there. So I've attached 3 of those. I don't know if this is the best way to have done this, probably not, but those are attached there. So 3 cool little books. And the other one of the other ones was potion bottles, so I've added those on the bottom of these charms as well. So these were, it's like a book page charm wrapped in wire. I literally saw this tutorial years ago, so if I can find it, I'll put a link to it in the description, but it was literally ages ago, so I might really struggle to find that. But yeah, so these are the charms. So I've literally hooked them on here. I do have to apologise, I would have liked to have used gold lobster clips. I literally don't have any at all, and I'm trying my best to kind of use what I've got instead of buying more things, and especially considering I've not done any crafting for quite a while. So I'm just gonna move these out of the way briefly. So this is the front page. So I've actually used some images that I already had printed out from one of my own kits, which is on Etsy. So it's the Sepia Gothic kit. I made a junk journal out of that a little while ago, which I sold, so thank you very much to the buyer of that. So I've used some of those images. I've used a few other bits and bobs. I think there's some Tim Holtz package papers in here as well. Yeah, so like these are sort of belly bands or pockets, whatever you want to kind of use them for. So they're from a Tim Holtz page, and I think that is as well. So then this is just like a bit of a mixed media tag. I backed it onto this, and the glue's kind of come through a little bit, but I think it looks really cool and grungy, so I've left it as is. Hopefully the recipient feels the same. So yeah, oh, I don't know if I mentioned, this is a swap, by the way. So I make one, and then whoever my partner is makes one, and then we get partnered up, and then we get to swap them. So I'm super excited, to be honest. But yeah, so that's a mixed media tag that I've added in there. So this is just a corner pocket, and I know it's not really a journal, but it does flip up for writing space, or I suppose you could maybe glue down the edge there and stick a little bit more of ephemera in there. And then I've also glued on some of this trim, which was a nightmare to glue. I'm not doing that right because I've seen people just put those on so easily. I have sewn these in the past and that was a lot easier to do. And then I've just glued on a little bit of lace around here. So then the first flip of this folio takes us to, it's just kind of like, so I've done a little bit of stamping on here using some sort of dark academia type stamps. So it's a dark academia theme, which was set by the group. And then again, just some images from my sepia gothic kit. And then these are just some sort of tea-dyed pages. And then just to turn it around so you can see this flip, I need to be really careful of these charms. So because it's a flip, I figured I would do one upside down and one the other way. So inside these pockets, so I've done more mixed media tags. The glue did a similar sort of thing but in a much nicer sort of way, but I do prefer this one, but I do like the grunginess. And then it wasn't necessarily a book image, but it's like a sort of, you know, photo album image, and then another tag up here, similar sort of style, and then this background is a Tim Holtz page, and then in each of the pockets I've also included a couple of these little coin envelopes, which I've done like a bit of a punch there. There isn't anything in them. They're just kind of, there's nothing on the back because they're for sort of sticking onto a page and then sticking things inside them. So I've done 4 of those. I'll just pop those back in there. To be careful with these because of the punched top. But yeah, so that's the first flip. So I'm just going to bring these charms back. So I wanted to do it like this, with it being like an ephemera folder. I thought it would be cool to kind of just store charms on it as well. So so then the next flip is this way. I think I'm going to take these off and bubble wrap them for when I actually send them because I don't want them to get damaged. So this is the second flip. So in here I've just basically done a bit of collaging, and then I've added in pockets from my sepia gothic kit, used some washi there, and then just some various images, and again it's another fold up pocket there. And then this is a stamped image that I did, and I've just backed it onto some tea-dyed paper. I'm just going to put these back in there. So I did a couple more of these envelopes and another mixed media tag, and then another stamped image backed onto tea-dyed paper. So let's just pop those back in. One thing to note is that with this flip, it kept catching on here, so I made a paper clip to keep these together, and that seems to have solved the issue. So I'll just pop those back in there. So on this side, so we've got a bit of a flip there, so it's just 2 envelopes, and then in here, so I've got another corner pocket and another pocket from my kit, another piece there, some Tim Holtz and some washi, and then these are journaling cards from Release the Crafting. I can't remember which kit this is because I literally bought so much of her stuff when I first started crafting, cut it all out, and then I didn't really do a lot with it, not because of the kit's incredible, that's just me. I just didn't do anything with it, so I've got stacks of it, so I just wanted to give some to someone so they can actually use it. And then these are just belly bands that I've cut out of the Tim Holtz papers. So then here, so this is a little altered paper clip. And then, I don't know if you can see, so I did a bit of collaging, and then I embossed that, and then I used another page from my Sepia Gothic kit and embossed that as well. I literally just got a Gemini, so it came with this, and I've been seeing this embossing folder, I think, on Rach and Bella Crafts, and I was in love with it and I really wanted it, and then I got myself a Gemini and it was in there and I was just like, what? So that was awesome. And then I've added a little bit more of this vine stuff on here as well. So inside the envelopes I've just put like a big old bunch of ephemera. Yeah, there's a lot. So this was another piece from Release the Crafting kit, and I just made it into a tiny little book. Some more Release the Crafting, this little envelope, some more belly bands from the Tim Holtz stuff, and this really cool Alchemy England card from a set of cards that I have. So the thing was to include 4 pieces of ephemera. I went a little bit crazy and just added a bunch. So hopefully the person who gets this really likes them. And then in this envelope I have a few more bits. Again, more Release the Crafting stuff. Like I said, I literally bought and printed off so much of her stuff because it's so cool. So some tags and some tickets. Another tag there, another stamped image, and another one of these cool cards from Alchemy England. Okay, and then what I do is just use this altered paper clip to clip these 2 envelopes together, just to make sure that they don't catch, and obviously that can be used elsewhere as well. Okay, so that was the second flip, and then the third flip is this way. Oh wait, also I have clipped on, so one of the things is to include a skeleton key. I literally do not have a skeleton key. I know some of it could have been imagery, but I really wanted to include an actual key, so I found this really cool vintage key. I went a little bit charity shop shopping with one of my friends, and she spotted it because we were looking for one all day, and then she spotted it like in the last charity shop we went to, so that was awesome. And then I just added this extra little book skull charm with bird's feet and feathers, and that's just clipped on there with a bulldog clip, so you can just remove that and add that to a journal as well. Okay, so then the third flip is this one. Oh, clip the page. There we go. This is noisy, so sorry. Right, so one of the things was to include stamped tissue paper or a stamped bag. So I really wanted to try the tissue paper. So I have this really rubbish old sort of tracing paper pad that I've had for ages, and I tried my best to do some stamped tissue paper, and it didn't go well. So the images actually came out quite nice on it, but the ink that I used was VersaFine ink, and this is kind of shiny paper, and it's not dried that well. So what I've done is I've left it for a couple of days, and it is starting to dry. So you can see there's only like a tiny little bit of ink that's come off there, and I've dabbed them, I've used the heat tool and stuff, so hopefully by the time this gets to the recipient they'll be able to actually use it. But for the meantime, what I've done is I have just paper clipped them to just like an ephemera page, so hopefully they can use that as well. And then I've included it, I'll just bring that up, in like a file folder, which is what I've made this folio out of. I don't know if that looked horrendous, so sorry if it did. So this is the first one that I did, super grungy, maybe a little bit too much on the page. Second one I did was mostly out of like 2 giant stamps that I've got. This was an extra one, and then some sewing ones as well, and then I added a few like ink splatters and things, so I really like that one. That's like my favourite one, I think. And then I did this one last. So this was quite a few different stamps. So one of the other things is to include like a writing utensil, and I literally don't have anything that looks anything dark academia. I'm going to just show you the type of, oh actually I do. I was like, oh, I don't have anything that I could use, and I have something, so I'm going to include this. I think I've got a gold one somewhere, so I'm just going to make sure that it does actually work, because yeah, my pens look like this and none of them are exactly dark academia, so I was like, oh, I don't have anything. So I was trying to include like images like this, like a little fountain pen and stuff, but I'm so happy I have this. I'm going to include this. Hopefully I've got a gold one, but if not, hopefully this one works, and then I can include that as well. But anyway, that was one of the other things, to include like a writing utensil. So I did try and include some images, and also timepieces. So this one has got quite a big clock, and there's a couple of clocks on the washi that I showed you before. So that was to kind of encompass that. Another one is a cloche tag. Literally, I've never heard this word before, but I know what these are. I just didn't know they were called this. So I've not used this to make a tag, but I did try and make some digis, but they're very dark. So I'm trying to work on like a dark academia digi kit, and if I can get it done in time, then I can post a free set out to whoever my recipient is, for the swap, hopefully. And there's my little note to apologise for the wet ink, basically. So as an alternative, what I did was I stamped some paper bags, and hopefully they'll like this. It was an either or, so hopefully they'll like this. So I included like a typewriter image and a feather pen and some more pens there and things like that. And then inside the bag, so again there's some more Release the Crafting stuff. So a tag, like a mixing pot, and then this really cool sort of rune card. One of the envelopes from one of her kits, which I haven't put anything in, and a couple of cool journaling cards. I think that these were a freebie from something, but again, like I said, I've not crafted for ages and ages, so I literally cannot remember who these belong to, so I do apologise. I've got literally no way of finding out, so if they're yours, please feel free to pop a comment if you've seen the video. And then these are also, I think, a freebie from another crafting group, which I printed on the back of writing paper and just inked around the edges. This is Tim Holtz paper, so I made a pocket out of one and a background out of the other. This is another Release the Crafting envelope, and then inside the envelope I've included a bunch of cool sort of, I know they're not necessarily dark academia, but they're just like cool gothy kind of stickers, so hopefully my recipient will like those. So these just go into the pocket, and then this doesn't fit in the pocket, so I just kind of put them behind. So again, I know this isn't a journal, but I did just want to kind of add a few pages. I've only done like a basic pamphlet stitch, so super easy to take these pages out if you want to use them. But these are some eco-dyed papers that I've got. A little page from, I think it's like a model railway book, maybe. And then this is a page from a Grey's Anatomy book. Some writing paper, which was avocado dyed, I think. Some music paper, which is vintage, but it's in good condition, so I kind of grunged it up a little bit. Bit of a faux pas, maybe. And a bit more of this cool eco-dyed paper. A sort of a French poetry page that's got an English translation. This is literally packing paper, but I thought this looked really cool. And yeah, the other side of the model railway page, writing paper. And then I won't show you like the other side of that because it's the exact same thing. And then also one of the things was to include 5 vintage book pages. So I've included this, which is really vintage music paper. This is like a vintage sort of, because one of the other things was bug imagery. So this is a nice gross picture of bugs, and then another Grey's Anatomy page, and another French poetry page with the translations. Honestly, have not vetted that, so the poetry book is old. I think it's like 1910 or something, so it's probably not the most PC, to be honest, but I haven't vetted it. I've just, you know, it's vintage, so it's in there. And then this is just basically the same again, with some more really gross bug images. I literally couldn't find any that I like. I know I like gothy things, but I don't like bugs, they're gross. Okay, so that's just in the middle, loose in the centre, and then this is just the other side of the signature that I showed you. So it's just the one signature, but it was just really to include some extra pages and keep them safe. So then here is a little side tuck with another page. It's actually a page from my Sepia Gothic kit, but I've just turned it into a journaling card because some of them are printed with lines, so I thought it was cool to put it on the back. And then this is also a page from my Sepia Gothic kit. And then this is another flip. So in the back here, it's literally the same setup. So I've got some more gothy stickers in there, which I won't get out. 2 more of these journaling cards, and then another stamped bag. I like that side, that's cool. With a bunch more ephemera in there, journaling cards. And they're all backed on lined paper as well. And then just in this flap here, literally cannot remember. So this was, I think, a digi-kit that I bought from Etsy, or Porch Prints, that was it. And they did like a little tutorial on how to put this together, and I did it a while ago, and I literally have never done anything with it, so I just thought, why not send it on to someone who might actually get more out of it. So I've included this in there because I just thought it did look kind of dark academia-ish, so hopefully that will be well received. And then in here, so I just created a pocket out of a page in my DigiKit, and then it's another page from the DigiKit. This I think was a freebie from my Porch Prints, and then this is a Release the Crafting tag that I have stamped up with typewriter and pen images because I didn't think I had a pen to include. So that's that one. So that's the final flip. And then on the back is another one of those tags. I'm not going to take all of these little bits out, but you can see there's all little tags there. And then, because it's an altered file folder, so there is pockets in the back. So there's a pocket in the back here, and there's a pocket in the front here. So, oh, the ball clip is in the way. Okay. So that was the lacy bits on the top. So what I've included here, so I've used a page from my Sepia Gothic Backgrounds kit, and I've basically made a mini ephemera folder, which I've done with this one as well. And then these are the cloche tags that I made. I literally did just do these really quickly, and they are very dark. You can, like, they do look kind of light because I've got the blinds open, and you can, you know, that it's fairly light outside. And I did print them on the back of tea-dyed looking paper. It's not actually, it's just printed tea-dyed. So hopefully these kind of fit the bill. This one I did back because it printed weird on the back, so I've just backed it myself with some tea dyed paper, and then there's a couple more in this one. So inside this mini ephemera folder, so it's just on the back of one of my background pages, so you have to include botanical images. So I've got some of these cool like vellum, they're not stickers, they're just like vellum pieces, which is cool. And then this is another card from that set. I thought they kind of looked like a school crest sort of thing, so I thought they were kind of dark academia-ish. And then with the timepiece requirements, so this is a bit of ephemera, again not a sticker, just a piece of ephemera about watches and things, so I thought that was pretty cool. So that's that side, and then in the middle, so I've included, so I think this is a sticker, but I wanted to leave it on the back end so that the person could use it. And then these are a couple of like book spines. I haven't taken these off a book because they're like super thin, they just literally came in an ephemera kit from somewhere, I can't remember. And then some more botanical imagery, like a sort of skeletal version of a typewriter, and a little map. Again, I don't think these are stickers, they're just kind of bits and bobs. And then there's just a bit of a side tuck there, which I've got a little world. I'm not sure what that is, but it's cool. And botanical imagery again, and that's just in this little side tuck. And then I've just topped these tags with this like orange and black lace because the file folder's orange, and I thought that just looked kind of cool. And then this is the other one, so a couple more cloche tags in there, and then again just used a page from my sepia gothic background pages. So in this one, there's a little tag from Release the Crafting. This is a little botanical page, it's not tea dyed or anything, but it looks really cool, so I did that. And then another one of those cards. And then in this pocket is some more Release the Crafting ephemera that I printed onto like a lace background, which I think is a digital curio background. And then in here I've got a little bit more botanical book page. Which just goes right down to the bottom, and then a Release Crafting tag that I stamped. It's printed on tea dyed paper, and then I just like this one, just thought it was really cool, so I wanted to include that in there. And then in the side tuck, tag that I've stamped up, and I have backed that onto proper tea dyed paper, not just printed it. And then belly band, and just like a little bit of like a pocket. It's a bit of scrap really, but it's just like something you could use as a pocket from my sepia gothic kit. So those, I won't try and put those back into that on video, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you were with me for the reveal of the pen. So hopefully I've got a gold one that I can include. But thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe. Alright, thank you, bye.